Hello and welcome to NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner, and with me today is Dion Mack. She's a Safe School Specialist with Student Support Services, and she's here today to talk about National Bully Prevention Month for the month of October. Welcome to NPS Now.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
I'm glad to have you on the show today. So tell me, what are some ways that we're recognizing Bully Prevention Month in our schools?
Well, in our schools, we have posters that are being placed at the elementary and the secondary levels. We have school counselors going into our buildings, or into our classrooms rather, discussing bullying prevention month and awareness activities and education. So there are quite a few things going on throughout the district this month.
That's good. So what are some ways that we're combating bullying in our schools?
Well, it's explicitly explained in our student code of conduct what opportunities we have if a student feels they're being victimized by bullying, how that will be handled within each of our bullying. It clearly explains that we have the hotline that has been established. That number is 628-1171, where incidents of bullying can be reported. And we also have an email address where if a student feels or a parent feels that they need to report or have someone acknowledge what's going on with their student, where they can access the hotline to share that information.
And this next question may kind of align with that, but what should a student that's being bullied or a parent, how do they report it? What do they do?
Well, again, through the hotline that I just mentioned, 628-1171, reports of bullying can be called into that hotline. There'll be someone available throughout the day, our regular business hours, 7:30 to 4:30, that can receive their call and accept the report of bullying. Also, through the email address, there's an online form where parents or the students themselves can share the information as they perceive about their incident involving bullying, and that information can be in turn forwarded and handled through the proper means from those sources.
Right. So what do you want students to do when they see bullying?
Well, in our student code of conduct, again, it clearly says, see something, say something. And that's what we want all of our students to feel comfortable in doing, to report it. If they feel like they're having an issue or a problem, we want them to use those trusted adult resources in their buildings, their principals, their teachers, their school counselors, their security officers, all those persons that are involved, that they feel comfortable, that they interact with every day. We want them to know that they are available to talk with them, but basically make sure that there's a conversation so they feel like their needs can be addressed and they can get the support and help that they need. And also not just within our building, but to make sure that they are having those conversations at home with their parents.
Yeah, the state of Virginia takes this very seriously, and the state passed a House Bill 1709, excuse me. What does that mean?
House Bill 1709 it states that every incident of bullying that's reported to schools has to be shared with the parent within 5 business days. So if a student reports something to one of those trusted adults at school, it's the responsibility of the school administrator or principal to notify the parent of the child's reporting.
So with that reporting, what's the protocol when a parent or student reports bullying, and what's the time or turnaround time for a response?
Well, again, within those 5 days, they're trained persons in each building who has been trained to investigate the reports of bullying and to, after conducting an appropriate investigation, to give that information as to how it's being handled with the parent and with the student, and put supports in place to make sure that the issue is attended to and hopefully resolved.
And there's different types of bullying, and this one in particular, bullying, excuse me, I think is pervasive nationwide, but how is it here on the local level with us?
Well, it seems to pretty much follow those trends of what has been reported nationally. A Cox Communication report indicated that 3 out of 10 students in some ways has been involved in some type of cyberbullying. So again, the ways in which we are handling and addressing traditional bullying are some of the same ways that we're trying to address and put a focus on cyberbullying.
So what are some ways that we can, as you just mentioned, prevent bullying in our schools?
Well, at our website again, the NPS district website, there's several documents that we've uploaded that give parents suggestions as to how they can work toward the prevention of bullying, even for educators and for the children who are experiencing this. So again, the main thing is communication, having these conversations with your students when they come home, and making sure as educators, as the professionals in our building, that we let our students know that we're available to them, that they can come to us and talk to us and share what's going on. And one thing for students, the whole thing about remaining anonymous, so we want to make sure that we're working each day to establish those buildings, our buildings where they feel trusted, where they can come and they can share that information anonymously, and while at the same time being reported as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that anonymous piece, because that's important, because some folks may see something but don't want to say anything because they don't want to be, singled out.
Yes.
So just real quick, recap for us how they can learn more information about bully prevention and how the reporting structure works.
Well, again, through our NPS website, there's all the information where you can find about, as we talked earlier, about tips to prevent bullying. That bullying, intimidation, harassment form can be found there, where the reports of bullying can be made anonymously by the student or the parent. Again, talking with the folks in your building to see something, say something is what we want every student to be aware of. Utilizing the bullying hotline, 628-1171, and we can't say enough about the website with all that information that you seek to find can be is contained.
Great tips, great information, and I know parents and students are going to pay attention to that. So thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we want you to stay tuned for more NPS Now.
Welcome back to NPS Now. I'm Steve Sutmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. Today in the studio we have two special guests, and we have the head coach from Norview High School, Arnisha Meeks.
Hello.
Head cheering coach.
Yes.
And we have a student athlete, one of the cheerleaders at Norview, Carmia Newton. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, number one, first thing, we have you down here because we have a big event coming up. It's the Eastern District Cheering Competition, an annual event. So Coach, tell us when the event is going to happen.
It's October 13th at Norview at 4 p.m. We worked hard for this day. This is our game. So if you can come out and support all of the teams, that would be great.
Okay. All right, so this is the Eastern District Cheer event. How many teams are involved in it?
It's normally 8, all of the 5 Norfolk schools and the 3 Portsmouth schools combined together for the Eastern District.
Okay, and that makes up the Eastern District.
Yes.
So what, from the coaching standpoint, what does it mean to compete as a coach?
It's a lot. It means a lot. The hard work that we put in and the late nights I stay up trying to create a routine, and to see them actually perform what you vision in a great way is unbelievable.
All right, Carmia, tell us a little bit about your preparation for this event, and then just a little bit about Carmia. How long have you been involved in cheering?
Okay. Well, I've been cheering since the 6th grade. I cheered rec center and I cheered with Blair Middle School, and I've been cheering varsity at Morey since my freshman year, and I've been doing competition since my freshman year. We practice all summer. Like some summers it was early mornings and late afternoons, sometimes it was late afternoons and late nights, but we practice all summer. When school starts, we get like the first day of school break, and then we get right back into practice till 5:30 or till 7.
Okay, so I'm a little familiar with the cheering life of a cheerleader and life of a coach, so I know how much is involved. So how excited are you to perform in this event, and then how is the team looking? Are they ready for this type of event?
I think we're all ready. Maybe a little nervous, but I'm really excited, especially since it's my last year. I hope we do good. I think we're going to play, so hopefully we'll do good.
Okay. All right, so Coach, we all know that there's 2 squads. There's the sideline squad, and then there's the competition squad that we're talking about right now. So tell us a little bit about the differences, and then talk a little bit about maybe some challenges of separating the 2 and getting ready for both, because you have to be there for Friday night football to support the team.
Sideline consists of cheers like motions, jumps, stomp and shake is what our style is. Competition is more tumbling, stunting throughout the routine, motions, loud voices, which it consists of both too. It's kind of hard right now because we still have to, again, make our football games on Thursdays and Fridays, but we got to separate the practices. Sometimes half the practice will go to sideline, half the practice will go to competition, or I'll just say, okay, competition practice this week, sideline will meet on Friday. We got to do the two at the same time, but it's hard, but they all come together and we all come together to make it happen.
All right, so Carmia, from your point of view, which one do you enjoy more, either sideline or competition? And then what's more difficult to get ready for?
I really like both a lot, especially sideline basketball season, but I think competition's my favorite just because we spend like countless hours with each other practicing, and it's really fun, and the adrenaline on competition day is like everything.
Okay. Coach, you mentioned competition has tumbling and a lot of different areas involved. So how do you train the team for the different stunts and pyramids and things that are involved to get that best score?
It starts off with conditioning. For competition, it's nothing but conditioning because you do all this stuff within 3 minutes. So conditioning, it starts with 1. And then 2, we go to conferences and we go to meetings to learn new stunts so we can come back and actually teach them. We actually went to one in August where we actually could bring our team to do hands-on stunts and stuff. So when we came back to practice, it can actually teach them physically what the stunts and stuff look like.
Okay. So, as the coach, how do you pick the routine? How do you pick the music? I mean, there's a lot of things involved.
It is. I have dreams at night, and sometimes I wake up and write it down, to be honest. I just look at other routines that we have done in the past or from other teams, such as R-Star, and then just VHSL teams in general to get an idea of what we should do. And I normally do my routine first, then fit my music, because you can just pick any music to kind of go with your routine. Okay.
So, Carmia, I mean, a lot of moving parts from the mental aspect to the physical aspect. I mean, how does a student athlete, again, follow all these instructions?
Well, first, you gotta make sure you're doing great in school, because if you can keep up with school instructions, you should be able to follow sports instructions, no problem. Just gotta keep yourself in shape, eat right, pay attention.
Okay. All right. So, Coach, we mentioned there's a lot of preparation, but there's also a lot of challenges that come along with any sport.
Yes.
And this past season, the Eastern District went ahead and instituted a social media, not a policy, but a program for all the cheerleaders to take, and for coaches to take. And that's been an issue going on. So yes. Talk a little bit about how that program has gone, and have you seen any positive remarks from being involved in that program?
Within our team, we have a contract, and I have a social media page in our contract of the do's and the don'ts. But with Norfolk Public Schools coming in and saying, hey, the video and the test and stuff, that really worked, because they went home and they seen the video, their parents seen the video. But then we all came back. Instead of me having practice, I had a whole meeting about social media. And they told me what they learned and what they feel like how should happen. Social media is a key thing, because all this stuff happens before a game. So then when we get to the game, that's when everything comes, and it's just like it's so much going on. But if they actually don't put negative things on social media, cheer each other up, everything will go smoothly at these games.
All right, Carmia, I mean, you're the social media probably guru here. So how did you feel when somebody said, hey, we have an issue here, we want to address this? How did the student athletes feel about this?
Some people didn't want to do it, but I think it was a great idea. Everybody needed it, and I feel like as the cheerleading community in Norfolk as a whole, we're more uplifting and positive, have a lot of team unity, and we just bond a lot better, instead of oh, I can't follow her because she cheers for Norview or she cheers for Lake Taylor. But as everyone gets along now, it's a lot better.
Okay. Well, we hope it it's going to work. We hope we stay positive with all our messages moving forward. So, and that's the big thing, because you know, a lot of negative things can come out of that, and you know, we don't want to see those things.
Yes.
So, all right, Coach, let's talk about some opportunities that at the next level for student athletes. Do they have opportunities to get a college scholarship for cheering?
A lot of them do. A lot of them do. If they go to a HBCU, you have to try out first, then you can get a scholarship. But other colleges can come right in. A lot of colleges, from our social media page, they come to our games to actually see us from what we post. It's a different vision from, okay, this is just a video, to seeing them in person. So we now have colleges just coming in to look at the girls and talking to the girls and just offering, you know, hey, come to our game whenever, and then we'll show you around, stuff like that. So it's a very big thing.
All right, and then I guess that would be an advantage or a positive with the social media, because coaches can go on and look at routines, look at athletes.
We follow a lot of colleges and different high schools within the area, and they all come together, and it's a great thing.
Okay, so there are some positive things in social media, so we just got to make sure we're all using those every day.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about you. What kind of future do you see down the road?
I plan on attending a 4-year next year. I want to major in biochemistry to be either a nurse or a physician's assistant. And if I go to, my top score right now is VSU. And if I go there, I'm going to try out for cheer. Okay. But any school, I'm still going to try out for cheer.
All right. So we can ask, how is the team? How do you think you're going to do in this competition coming up?
Honestly, this is the best team I've coached for competition in the 9 years and the 6 years at Moore. Like, the things that they do, it amazes me. I have to go home and rethink to do harder stuff, because I give it to them. They was like, "Oh, Coach, we got it. Anything else?" That's how they are this year, and it's amazing.
Well, that's a good group to have.
Yes.
All right, so Carmea, give us a prediction. Where the Commodores going to finish?
Hopefully first. Everybody wants to win first, but just placing would be an honor either way, especially like a go out for senior year. But I mean, everyone's going to be tough competition, so the best team's going to win. Okay.
All right, Coach, one more time. When's this event?
It's October 13th at Norview at 4 p.m.
All right. We hope we see a lot of people out there, and we wish you good luck in the competition, and then moving on into the region. All right. So thanks for being down here.
Thank you.
All right. More NPS Now after this.
Welcome back to NPS Now. With us today is John Coleman, the Executive Director of Secondary Schools. Welcome again to NPS Now.
Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you on the show, especially this time of year as we have our upcoming specialty programs that are going to be showcased that's going to be coming up. So tell us a little bit about the specialty showcase that you do every year for us.
Well, traditionally this time of year in October, we provide to our parents and our students the opportunity to learn more about our specialty programs. And our specialty programs with Norfolk Public Schools is really one of those gems when it comes to looking at curriculum and instruction. And so on October 23rd and October 25th, we will have our showcase night for all of NPS in terms of students who are looking for information in regard to each of our programs.
So what programs are being offered?
We have 5 programs at the middle school level, and we have 5 programs at the high school level. So at the high school, we have the Leadership Center for the Sciences and Engineering at Norview High School. We have the Academy of Arts at Booker T. Washington. We have the Academy for Leadership and Military Science at Lake Taylor High School. We have the Granby International Baccalaureate Program. And then at Maury, we have the pre-medical and health specialty program at the high school level. At the middle school level, we also have 5 programs, and those programs are the Academy for Discovery at Lakewood, which is a middle school program that focuses on project-based learning, as well as a middle years IB program. And then we also have the STEM program, which is located at the Southside STEM Academy at Camp Estella. We have the Blair Pre-Medical and Health Specialty Program, and then we have the Academy for International Studies and the Young Scholars Program. Both are located at Rosemont. So we have quite a few different options that are available to NPS students.
And this is some good information, so I'm going to get you to repeat for me real quick. You know, each year we have a showcase designed to highlight those programs at the middle and high school level. You mentioned 2 dates, so can you mention each one again and which one
Sure.
is for each school?
So on October 23rd, which is a Tuesday, that will be the evening that we will be providing information for all 5 of our high school programs.
Okay.
And so that will be located at Norview High School beginning at 6 p.m. And what we'll do is all of the program leaders will provide a short synopsis of their program. But what's even more important is we will have students there who will be able to speak in regard to each of those programs. So we'll be set up in the Commons area at that high school where parents and students will be able to ask questions and speak and learn and more information about each of those programs. Then on Thursday, October 25th, we repeat the same process, only with the 5 middle school programs. And so this is that original opportunity, that we provide to parents and students to learn
And this is
more.
at Norview High School?
And that both programs will be at Norview High School. Both will begin at 6 p.m.
Why do you think it's important to have those students to stand up and talk about the specialty programs?
Well, adults, we can talk all we want, but when the students get in there, they really make it come to life. They're the ones that experience, what takes place in a specialty program, and they really provide that marketing to students so that students understand and can speak to the program in a way that will relate to the students that are basically looking to choose those programs.
Yeah, you mentioned the 2 nights, but why is it important to have a couple of nights? Or you think maybe it could stretch to a week?
Well, in addition to those 2 nights, we try to reach our parents in multiple ways. And so each program will also have its own individual night. And that information has been provided through a letter to our rising 6th graders and our rising 9th graders for next year. It's on the district website and the school's websites as well. So even though we have the showcase night, which covers all of the programs, each individual school that has a program will also offer a night where they can get more information in even greater detail.
Oh, great. So when will the applications be available, and how can they access them? And then when will the application deadline be?
So applications will become live on the night of the showcase. So for high schools on the 23rd, that evening, once the program is over, the application is available. It will be available on the district website, and it will also be available on each individual high school's website. Parents can download the application, and they can complete part of the application online before downloading it as well. The same for the middle schools. It will become live on October 25th. The deadline for all applications, both high school and middle school, is January 31st. And so from October, November, December to the end of January is a pretty good window of opportunity for parents to learn more information about each of the programs, make their informed choice. And that is one, I would say, critical piece that we want to make parents aware of this year, in that parents and students can apply to any or all the programs that they want, but this year on the application we have something new. And that new piece is students will be asked to choose what is their first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth or fifth if they choose to apply to all. If they're only looking to apply to 2, they still need to choose what's my first choice or what's my second choice. Because as a division, we are going to make a more concentrated effort on making sure that we are able to place students in the program of their choice.
That's
as long
great.
as they meet those qualifications.
I'm sure parents and students will appreciate that this year, having more of a chance to get into one of the specialty programs.
We hope so, and it kind of falls along with the Board of Education's equity policy, in that we want to make sure that the process is equitable for all, and that we're being efficient in the way that students are selected and placed in programs. And we want to do it by the student's choice, as long as they
So
qualify.
how are they selected for these programs?
They go, well, once the application is received, there's different criteria. And so we have a rubric that we follow in terms of how we score an application and the different components that are in it. There are some differences between the programs. So for example, at the high school level, 3 of the programs have an exam that they give. So for example, the Norview High School Academy for the Sciences and Pre-Engineering, there's a math exam that students are invited in to participate and take. So that's part of the criteria. If you go at the middle school level, we've got some lottery schools. So the Academy for International Studies at Rosemont, there's criteria, but there's also a lottery because of the number of students that have applied. At the Academy for Discovery at Lakewood, it is simply a lottery. At the Campostella STEM program, it's simply a lottery. So based on each individual's programs, we will make sure that it's done fairly and equitably, and it will be, a committee's decision in terms of how students are finally, placed.
Do we hold spots for military-connected students who may be coming into the district?
We hold several spots for military-connected as long as those military-connected students still qualify. They still have to go through the same process. However, we recognize that students that are coming in through military don't always have the same opportunity in terms of the window for applying. And as a result, we still provide that opportunity for consideration when they do arrive.
And that's great that we do that because we're a heavily military concentrated area.
Yes, we
so
are.
tell me, is there anything else parents and students can do to learn more about these specialty programs?
Ask questions, go to the website, get information, come to the showcase night, go to the individual schools program nights that they're interested in. If there's more information, they can absolutely call the school and ask to speak to the program directors, and they would be happy to assist or provide additional information as well. We certainly want to make parents have every opportunity to make an informed choice with their child. We certainly want children entering a program that best fits their interests and their needs, and so those are the primary focus for our programs.
And that's good. So let's recap real quick because this is important information. So list the 2 nights and for which middle and high school and the times, who the location, all of that good information.
Okay. So our showcase evenings for high school, it's October 23rd, 6 o'clock, Norview High School. And all 5 high schools will be represented that evening. On October 25th, which is a Thursday, again, Norview High School, 6 p.m. All of our middle school specialty programs will be there to provide information. Deadline for applications is January 31st at the school they are currently attending.
Wonderful. And if they want to know more information, go to www.npsk12.com. Great. Thank you for coming on the show and sharing our specialty showcase programs and that information for parents and students.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Great. And we want to thank you for watching NPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS Channel 47, or you can view us online at www.npsk12.com. If you have any great story ideas or information you'd like to share, email us at nps_news@npsk12.com. Again, we want to thank you for watching NPS Now.